When them are into it. We creating right now is history making. Everybody together, watch the fire when they bring the fire. So queens and kings, we just giving them pressure. It's an island thing, island just an island thing. When the DJ starts to be sound, trouble in town, the masquerade that got trouble in town, trouble in town. Big man them coming
WEFM, fresh sound.
WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
And the time in SVG it is 7:45, and at this time we are bringing to you commentary with Mr. Lyf Compton. Mr. Compton, good morning.
Good morning, Roleza. How are you all this morning?
We good. How about you?
I'm good.
Okay, go right ahead.
Yeah, what the old people go.
Yes, old people, go ahead. Lord.
I was looking at some stats on cancer syndrome, right? And it was very so, in a moderate really. When you look at cancer is killing more people than violence in 2017. It's that prostate cancer. The deaths from prostate cancer is basically 49.4 for 100,000 men. And it is considered the leading part of cancer from men. Now, when you look at this, right, I was thinking, this is for a reason, because these things, prostate cancer is detected early. The potential of being saved is very high. But I was thinking it's probably because of the invasive procedure that can consider the procedure of prostate cancer. Very invasive, right? I don't know if I guess most of us don't know what that procedure is. I was thinking that for so many men dying from prostate cancer in the country, it is very high, 49.4% for 100,000.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very high. Now, I'm saying this I decided to speak about this morning to encourage people to get screened, both men and women. It's important that if you get screened and we can that early that you can be helped and save your life. Now, one of the main things that happened with cancer in 2025 is that the Minister of Health, Welfare and Environment launched a cervical cancer elimination initiative with support from PACO. And what it is that they are giving out free HPV DNA testing for women 50 ages of 30 to 60. And they're also doing basically a vaccination. Although there's HPV vaccination initiative. So instead of going to do this, there's a very low HPV vaccination rate. And it starts as of 2020, HPV vaccination upwards. No, this is a very serious because these stuff are very alarming, and they have been so for quite a number of years. natal head, it to a Memorial Hospital, and there are several other private hospitals who also do it. So I go and get checked out because this is killing the population. And we up in arms about firearm like and say, I think this is something that preventable. And cancer is a serious thing, right? Because it sneaks up on you. You can have cancer and don't know until it's late. So that is why it's so important that you catch it. I had an uncle. He worked all his life very hard, and when he retired and was about to basically enjoy his life, he was diagnosed with cancer and he died in less than 2 months. Now he went his entire life without knowing he had cancer. And it's a thing with men. They don't like to go to the doctor. He, like, sometimes he wouldn't know that something was wrong, but he just was refusing to go to the doctor and get checked. And by the time that he eventually went, he only had less than 3 months. So I'm just like, such person who go and get checked and prevent stress on yourself. So that you should and test it.
Oh man, should have checked and tested, right? I didn't hear you say yes.
What? Okay.
All right,
Definitely with
lovely.
I want God to take my tool.
I will. All right, have a good one today, Life. And that was Lyf Compton with his commentary today and his question. Well, the question was, why are cancer deaths so high in SVG? And giving advice to both sexes to go and get their respective tests done. All right. So, let's talk a little bit more about that.
One of the things he mentioned was the rectal exam that many men, well, in the case of prostate cancer, the rectal exam that many men are afraid to do. And we were having a discussion the other day with Dr. Williams, and she did tell us about the other test. Some persons already knew about it, but she told us about the other test, which is a blood test. So if you don't want to be if you don't want to do the rectal exam, then you have the option to do a blood test as well.
Yeah, I think it's the PSA test, but I think I got the impression that the PSA test would be the first instance, and then the rectal would follow if there is a sign in the PSA test that further tests should be done. That's the impression that I got. So maybe a doctor could, a doctor or nurse could clarify that if I'm mistaken. Nicole? All right, so there's a delay again. All right, so we see somebody calling, so we're going to that before I give some thoughts. Hi, Dave. Morning.
Yes, I hear you all talking about cancer. Maybe it's happening very often. Because when I was now than before, but when I was growing up, I always remember when you hear about this thing called cancer, it's like it was a death sentence. Now you have people who recover from cancer. Like I said at one time, anytime I hear the word cancer, it's like everybody prepare for death to hear the sad news that that person who has cancer is going to die. But the thing about this rectum thing and so on, right? Some men very serious. Some love it. You know, I just said this. I just said that as a slight departure because I had a friend. He was in the United States on these people, um, and there was this particular guy. He had to put his hand, whatever, in his rectum, and when he did that, the guy, you should hear, yourself telling me you should hear the reaction. This guy, he said, Doc, keep it there, keep it there, keep it there, and so on. So while some men may not love the idea, some men would love it, maybe because of the sensation they get and all that stuff and so on. But I just mentioned that by the way, but where I hear a lot of things being repeated all the while. I have heard about this cancer thing and cancer. We have come a long way anyhow because of the use of what do you call it? Modern medicine, and there should be no fear really. But there's certain traits about we as human beings. A woman would want to do certain things, just like a man will want to do certain things. What you would, just like you and Dianna may not wish to do certain things because of, how you feel as individually as a woman. Because not even your husband or your partner, right? You wish to share certain things with, and that is also very important. Am I speaking the truth?
Yeah, Dave, you're speaking some truth, yes.
Speaking some truth, I want to speak, and Roleza remain quiet because I want to hear her reaction too. Yes, we as human beings, we have our own unusual, pattern about ourselves, what we practice, what we don't like to do. And sometimes we realize that we do ourselves more harm than good. So I just wanted to say that. Thank you.
All right, Dave. Have a good one.
You too. You too.
All right. Let me just address something that Dave said. All right. So I think one of the reasons why many men, well, I've been told, has been said in the media, one of the reasons why many men don't go and get the test done for prostate exam, the rectal test done, is because of the procedure that it involves, right? And I'm not even trying to sound graphic or too explicit here. And as a result of part of the way in which the test is done, a particular reaction, an involuntary reaction happens in a man's body. And men, when that reaction happens, they do not want for the doctor to think that they are so inclined in terms of homosexual activity. And because of that, many men don't want to go and get that particular test done. Now, as far as I've been told, it's an involuntary reaction to having that test done. So no sort of stigma is going to be attached to you as a man if that reaction happens. All right. Whatever happens in the room there, it's between you and that doctor. And especially if you go to a male doctor, he is going to, I shouldn't even just say just general. Many Caribbean men have this sort of phobia of having a stigma attached to you when certain things happen. When son, I want to believe that yes, is going to take precedent over between you and that doctor examination room. All right. So it's just something that I wanted to add there in response to something that Dave said. I ain't too sure about
a doctor should and would for the doctor to think, oh, if I test you and this happens, you are a homosexual. That would be very foolish of that doctor, very unprofessional, because as a doctor, you ought to know that is the reaction that is going to happen. Someone here says they do that prostate test every year, and they said they do the rectal test before the PSA blood test.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Say that again?
They do the rectal test before the PSA blood test. They say they do this every year, so I guess they would.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's hear from Serena before we head on out.
Hi, good morning again.
Morning.
Yes. That test, because my mister, well, he passed now. I'm not in a relationship right now with no one. He passed now. When he go to, I'm not calling the doctor name because I don't want to get in trouble and the radio station. And when he go to get his test, right, when he come back home, I say how it was. He said when the doctor put on the gloves and he do what he has to do, the doctor is telling him, there's one thing about him tight. No doctor should tell no one so. I feel no doctor should tell no one. So as what he said, whatever happened between that doctor and the patient stays right in the room. So I should feel everyone should go and get the prostate test done to know, what's happening, what's going on in their life. So that is my little piece.
Okay. All right. Serena, thanks. All right. I think Nicole is there, but I'm not even. All right. So one of the other things to that I just want to touch on I know that you and I spoke about it before, about the HPV vaccination and the hesitancy towards it, right? I part of me wonders if there needs to be a bit more education pushed out there, because we still recognize that there's a bit of a hesitancy, and Lyf quoted the stats there. In hesitancy in getting both the boys and the girls vaccinated, and I it's just so sad that we have gotten COVID has caused so many persons to be anti-vaxxers, right? Knowing full and well that when we were born, during our early stages of development, we were vaccinated and we never really questioned certain things, right? And I'm looking at something as significant as persons dying of prostate cancer, women dying of cervical cancer, something that is possibly preventable, right, by getting children vaccinated, that persons are not considering it. Happy to have had it, right? I think from a personal standpoint. Now, would my mother have been the one to want for me to, because she has to give consent, that's another story, right? But it's really just unfortunate. And this whole thing with cancer is, I keep thinking that you could try to live as good of a life as you possibly can. You could be trying to eat right, exercise, do this and do that, but cancer could still meet you, right? Because we are inhaling toxins in the environment. Yeah. The food that we think that we eat and that might be organic, it very well may be organic, but what about the soil that it's being grown in, right? There are different factors that could lead to persons getting cancer, but as Lyf advocated, go and get your test done. I'm talking to myself here, all right? Okay, Lyf? Talking to myself here. Yeah, go and get tested. Put the fears aside. Again, I'm talking to myself. Okay, y'all helping me through this process. You're helping me through this process. Put your fears aside and go and get tested, okay?
One man here commented on the test, and he said he didn't have any reaction. He said he was more afraid of the test and not how he would feel.
Okay, good. All right. Now that we've had that therapeutic session, we are heading on out. Time and SVG is 8:03, and our time check came to you with the compliments of New Haven Funeral Home.